This is like take 3. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. It's your girl KV coming to you with another review. So I'm off work technically on this good Juneteenth day, but I still gotta clean this house. So I'm not really off work. It's so much laundry to be done and still more laundry to do. So that is the main focus of my days. Sorting through so much laundry. But that ain't what y'all came here for. Y'all came to hear me talk about Power Book 2 Ghost, Season 4, Episode 2, To Thine Own Self. Yes, I have a Timosa on deck. Should have put an orange in it, but I was just trying to get it made so I can get this stuff done. So this episode was chill. You know how, unlike my baby girl, because I know y'all can hear that screaming, right? This episode was chill. Y'all know how Power do. They'll give us action-packed, everybody's getting murked episode. Then the next episode will be like, okay, let's handle some business. Let's flesh out some storylines. Let's, handle the paperwork. Let's handle the paperwork of the series or whatever, right? So this episode starts with police. We got Detective Carter. He's talking to some of his, I was gonna say castmates, some of his co-workers, and they're talking about how they just took down the Russians. They're out there with a bunch of shipping containers, so I'm guessing they intercepted some drugs, some guns, whatever else. Carter's like, well, what are the Russians gonna do now? Now that we've got all their stuff. And the lady was like, get out of our country, I hope. And we're just like, oh, how very racist of y'all. How cute. So they also start talking about how they are not buying what Tariq is selling as far as being the hero on campus. Y'all know Tariq said that Tariq and Brayden's story is that some killer came on campus and killed the detective, so they killed the killer who killed the detective to save the school. Heroes, but I knew that would not go smoothly because they are the known troublemakers on campus. Tariq just got back into school after getting kicked out. He done been arrested a few times. People be like, oh, my parents don't want me going here if you a student. We know what happened with Brayden. So they are two troublemakers on campus. So that was never going to go over smoothly. But I mean, what choice did they have? They felt like if they were involved in some way, it would be better than it being a mystery and somebody investigating them. But I mean, somebody gonna be investigating them either way. So I guess, which is worse. But they're back on campus and they are struggling college students, y'all. I was sitting here like, did they really just not save any money? But I think if I can recall correctly, they had all their money, including Tariq's trust, tied into Weston Holdings. It actually just started coming back to me as I said that, because Tariq did, as a measure of good faith, when he was trying to get that black businessman on deck, I believe, if I can recall correctly, I believe he did say, I trust them so much. My trust is literally with them. My money is with them that I can't get till I'm 21. That's how much I trust Weston Holdings. I feel like that happened, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. It'd be so much time between seasons. It'd be feeling like we need to go watch it from the top. We gotta go back at season 1 because we don't remember what happened. It'd be like a year and some change between seasons sometimes. But I think that's what happened. They should have gave us a flashback on where all their money is. Because I'm sitting here like, they too smart to not have no savings or nothing. They just dead flat broke. But I think it was because they had everything tied up in Brayden's family business. That sounds about right. So Rick is like, forget what I said about being a regular college student. I'm trying to get back to running these drugs. Like, I need some money. He need his life a luxury. He not used to this. He not used to living check to check, if even that. He used to being able to ball out and go do whatever it is he wanted to do, which cracks me up because it's like, what were you doing? You weren't vacationing. Y'all had bought cars, but y'all weren't like into cars and jewelry like that. So I'm like, what is affected so far in y'all life, other than just knowing you had thousands of dollars on hand to do whatever you wanted? Like, y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all didn't go do cool things. Y'all didn't go test drive Teslas. Y'all didn't do nothing like that to be feeling the brokenness this fast. I can't recall them doing stuff. I mean, they went to Italy that time where Noma popped up on them, but it was like, that was like the only thing we really seen them do, right? I guess they buy nice clothes, but at this point you should have enough nice clothes to hold you over. But they sitting there, he like, no, I need my life a luxury. Speaking of clothes, Brayden is like, well, at least you don't have to wear this mess, this, that. Tariq got all these jobs because he got a scholarship on campus. So he's complaining, and Brayden gets on Tariq's Brayden gets on Tariq's nerves all episode long because he's trying to commiserate with Tariq in this position that they're in. But regardless of, them both losing their jobs in the drug dealing business and stuff like that, Brayden is still a step above, because even here, Rick was like, be quiet, man. Your cousin got you a job doing real estate. Yeah, but I hate it. And Rick is just so irritated because he like, what? I got to clean jock straps to be here. Okay, your school is still paid for. You paid for it, so you don't even have to worry about that. So we is not the same. We not the same. Like I said, Rick got this scholarship or whatever. So when he goes to see the counselor, the advisor, she tells him that he has 3 work-study jobs for them to give him their money. I said, dang, 3? Why they slaving this black man? 3 jobs? He got to work at the candy store. Y'all know Diana work at the candy store. He got to work with the teens. I told you he cleaning jock straps. And I think the 3rd one was the library. I think it was the library. So they're getting all types of attention on campus, some good, some bad. Some people are like, oh my gosh, you guys are so brave to kill a gunman. I would have never had the courage to do that and save us and protect us. And one guy's like, yeah, if that's what happened, we know how y'all get down. And as all of this is going on, we see in the back, they're taking the Weston name off of a building. Did y'all catch that? They're taking the Weston name off a building because remember, they found out this Ponzi scheme. So one guy walks past Brayden and is like, you're Brayden Weston? Man, F you. My mom's pension is gone because of you. Brayden's like, dude, I'm like 20. I don't know what my family was doing. I'm like a kid still. I don't know what they was doing. So meanwhile, we see Kane and Drew. They out here breaking arms trying to find out who Monet shot. But Drew is distracted per usual because where they out here harassing people about Monet getting shot, there's this mural of the 3 brothers. Remember the 3 brothers? And Drew was dating Gordo. So he's mesmerized by this picture of Gordo and he's missing his boo. And in that regards, I do feel for Drew because he's just trying to like have a little relationship out here, have a little boo thing. And every time this drug game gets in the way of that. It gets in the way. He finds somebody that was clean cut, going to school and everything, and he didn't want to deal with it. He finds somebody that's in the drug game with him, and he got to kill them. No winning for Drew, okay? None. Next, we see Effie in the library, and she's looking at Stanford. They have this engineering program that she wants to get into. Her professor encourages her to sign up for the last interview. Brayden goes by his house, goes by where his family lives, and they're moving. I don't know if they're moving because the money is just that funny after they got found out, or if they're trying to escape Brayden. Because remember, because of Brayden in this drug game, his brother Trace done got beat up, and his sister technically got kidnapped. So I wouldn't even be mad at Daddy Weston for being like, I gotta move my family from here because Brayden done joined, I don't agree with this part, Brayden done joined the Jungle Monkey Bunnies and he is one of them now. He got the Weston name, but he ain't my people's, okay? Daddy Weston trying to get away from him, so it's probably a little bit of both. I don't know what's wrong with my child. He's probably trying to make her lay down for a nap. I really hope y'all can't hear it. So back at the Tejada residence, we see Monet going through her recovery process. She has a friend there, Janet, who is helping her recover, which actually is her cousin. Janet was her cousin. So Janet is Golden Brooks. Remember Maya from Girlfriends? We saw that she was going to be on this season, but, you know, we didn't know in what capacity. I figured she was going to be something to Monet. We learn, because they're going back and forth or whatever, they live very different lives. I'm guessing Janet had to struggle. Janet seems like she's a nurse or a home aide or something like that, because she's very, like, in her groove, taking care of Monet. So they're all sitting there together, Monet, the kids, Janet, they're talking, and Kane is like, you know, we need to have a family talk. Sorry, Janet, you know, that's you. We need you to leave. She was like, oh, so I ain't family now? But I don't care. I ain't trying to get wrapped up in y'all mess neither. I don't need the feds knocking down my door because they think I got some information on y'all. So I'm going to just go over here and get the blankets and everything that your mama gonna need, because I don't want no parts of this. Janet know what's up. She ain't crazy. Like I said, she the cousin. So at this point, they start talking about the Russians and what's going to go on with that. Monet is like, I'm not messing with the Russians. We just got this on lock, yada, yada, yada. She's not with them. She's not with Noma and the kids partnering up with the Russians. So she's trying to get back to the streets, and I'm going to have to go talk to her. And Janet walks in and is like, absolutely not, girl. Sit down. Sit down. So they make her sit back down. She catch the dizzies, and she's just like, everybody still. Everybody shut the F up and be still. And they all just like, but you want to go outside and try to fight somebody when you can't even deal with us getting you comfortable. Okay, girl, sit down. Sit down. Noma wants to take over the Russian territory, so she sends Obi out to do it. Obi's the sidekick, right? Yeah. We see Davis talking to one of his employees about everything, and she's going to be the one representing him for his possible disbarment. He's making sure everybody's cool with working from the house or wherever, and she's making sure everybody's still going to get their paychecks this month. He is obviously the sex symbol of the show, because we're going to always see his abs. We're going to always see him clapping cheeks this season. So I'm not mad at it. He made a pass at the lawyer lady that works for him that's going to work on his case. At first, I'm like, oh, I don't know if she don't like this. Don't make her quit. But, I mean, like any of us, she was like, okay, let's get it. He's so fine. He's so fine. He is so fine. If I was her, I would have been like, shoot. But they should have been working on that case, because when they had that pre-hearing, they said that, you know, his temporary suspension stands and we got to wait for the disbarment hearing. So I'm like, ooh, y'all probably should have been working instead of being like this. But hey, who knows? So now we see, I just call them the kids because they're the kids. I feel like you a kid until you're like 25. So now we see the kids in class, and like I said, I don't think Brayden is back in school yet, because everybody's in this class but him. But then again, is Brayden even that smart? Like, is he smart? Does his family just have money, or is he actually smart enough to like hang in these conversations? So of course we got the usual suspects from Canonical Studies, which is not so light-skinned Keisha. We got Tariq. We got Effie. We got Diana. Was there anybody else? Am I missing somebody else? That's the class. So, you know how these conversations that they have in class is always tied back to the theme of the episode. And the topic is, how do people become successful? Tariq says failure is a motivation to succeed. Basically like, yeah, y'all got me now, but I'm coming back for y'all. And I'm coming back to y'all stronger than ever. Okay, watch your backs. And Effie said, no, success breeds more success. We've been on your neck, we're gonna stay on your neck. Okay? And so they going, they taking these shots that everybody else doesn't take as shots because they don't know their personal lives and what's going on in it. But the viewers, we know that it's them taking shots, okay? They like, baby, I run this. Oh no, you only run this for now. I'm coming back to take my place. After class, Effie is trying to apologize to Tariq for telling Noma that he found Anya. She's just like, well, I was just mad at you. I didn't think that she was going to try to kill you. Effie, what would you do if somebody told you they know where your daughter is? So keep on playing with me and I'll go find her. Wouldn't you want to kill that person? You would probably go full blown and kill this person. So what you mean you didn't think she was going to try to kill? I would have mushed Effie. I would have been like, what are you talking about? But Tariq is a boy. He's a man. He can't be putting his hands on women like that. So she feels like she made it up to him with the text message that Kane was after him and they were on campus. And there might be others. He's just like, no, not quite. Bye. And so she goes to see Diana. She tells her, we need to talk to you later. We saw Diana going to buy a pregnancy test, mind you. We saw that. So when she goes to see Diana, they meet in like a storage closet at the candy shop. And she's telling her like, yo, we got to get back to moving this weight. Y'all got to get y'all ish together. I feel like I'm doing everything. Y'all need to pick up some slack. Remember, they're not moving weight on the campus because the detectives last season or the season before that had put those cameras up on the roof. So Diana was caught putting some packages in the little secret storage boxes on the roof. Couldn't use the roof no more. Stansfield High can't move the drugs no more. So they haven't been. Like I said, Diana was buying a pregnancy test. She finds out that she is indeed pregnant. Who the baby daddy, y'all? I feel like I remember Tariq being her first. But didn't she sleep with Salim too? Remember? Because my husband was like, nah, she ain't sleep with Salim. Nah, she ain't sleep with Salim. But I'm like, I really thought she slept with Salim. So we don't even know who her baby daddy is. She goes to the doctor to confirm that she is indeed pregnant. And the doctor's like, yes. And this whole conversation with her and the doctor is going terribly. The doctor's like, I know how these college parties go. And, so do you know who the father is? Diana's like, yes, I know who the father is. Oh, okay, well, I just got to make sure that I don't paint you this rosy picture of everything's going to be good. It's going to be hard. You're in college and you have to do this. And what about this? And Diana's like, you don't know my life, okay? Don't play with me. Don't do it. Goes terribly. But we confirmed that she is indeed pregnant. She's pregnant. Next, we see Detective Carter visiting some folks. Of course, some of this is out of order because it just makes sense to kind of stick it together in my head. First, he goes to see Davis, and he's trying to get him to work for the police, basically. He's like, oh, you want to be able to practice law again, huh? And Davis is like, well, what would that require me to do? I'm not flipping on my clients. I'm not turning my clients in over to you. And as he's trying to convince him, Detective Carter is being all elusive and just like, yeah, you know how they have Michael Ealy playing all the time. Yeah, so I got a proposition for you. You want to be able to practice law, don't you? Yeah, because you're in some trouble right now. Davis was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just know you need to hurry up and say it. Okay? I don't feel like all these riddles and talking in circles and stuff. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Okay? Davis ain't really going for it. He's not really trying to flip on his clients. He know that he got clients that will absolutely come murk him if he flips on them. So it's not like that's an easy decision to just go work for the cops. No, if he get disbarred, he just better go be a consultant somewhere. You know what I mean? You better make up the cash somewhere else, be a consultant for a few companies where you ain't actually practicing law. You just advising people on the law. Can you do that being disbarred? I feel like you should be able to Later on, we see him go visit Tariq. Remember, Tariq works at the candy shop on campus, and the candy shop be having open mic night at night. So there's a girl up there performing. We see Brayden trying to get at her, yada, yada, yada. All of this is kind of filler just for Tariq to be approached by Detective Carter. Tariq, y'all know Tariq turns on the choked, the private school persona real quick. So he's like, hello, officer. How can I help you? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, but Detective Carter is like, boy, I know that the shoot didn't go down like you said it is. And I know that you ain't this. So stop trying to play me. Like, nah, I'm on you. He also was like, have you talked to your mama lately? He like, you know, I can't talk to my mama. She in WISEC. She in witness protection. Oh, okay. Well, you know, she probably gonna be getting kicked out of that witness protection pretty soon. So that's what got him into motion. Cause you know, he don't play by his mama. He don't play by his mama. Okay. Next, we see Effie go meet Noma. And she tells her she deserves a raise. She's been doing all this work. Every time you up the amount on what I need to move, I do it. I succeed. Meanwhile, the rest of these folks is slacking. They not pulling their weight. Noma laughs at her and is like, girl, you've got a whole lot of moxie. You got some moxie. But Effie is like, well, I can go get the Russians. Will I get my raise then? I go get you the Russians. She's like, okay, cool. You got 24 hours. Let's see what you can do. Effie goes in the bar. The dryer stopped already? Effie goes to the bar where the Russians own and hang out and talk business. And they're like recluse, little girl. And she goes and she sits right in between them and is like, 50 milligrams of vodka, please. I said, who orders it like that? Just say a shot of vodka. Fucking geek. 50 milligrams of vodka. Oh, girl, did she even take the shot? I don't even think she took the shot. She just ordered the drink to be like, yeah, I'm hanging with the big boys. We're taking shots. All right. She is trying to convince them to take this meeting with Noma. He's not really going for it. Why would I do that? Nah, girl, going on somewhere. Effie says, she's basically talking about how she's a hacker. She's a hacker. She can hack into anything. She picks up her phone, shows him a picture of him and his daughter, and says, you know, hackers can hack a lot of things. I can hack into the system to change your daughter's swim times because she ain't gonna make that Princeton swim team with these scores. So, and you know, he's a little pissed off because don't be bringing up my kids. You know what I mean? That's gonna get anybody like, hold up, I'm gonna have to yoke you up a little bit, show you that I ain't the one to be playing with. But eventually he agrees. He will take this meeting with Noma if she changed the daughter's swim scores so that she can get on the Princeton swim team. Next, we're back at Monet. And she's at home. She is trying to get Janet to give her some pills. But Janet's like, girl, these pills are strong. And she's just like, give them the pills. She's like, okay, just one. Gives her the pills, and they're sitting there talking. Janet says something about, oh, things were so much simpler when it was just, you know, you loving your baby and loving your man. Whatever she said, whatever it was just the catalyst to set Monet off into her series of flashbacks, right? So she's running the water, trying to take some water with this pill. And she flashes back to when she was living in the hood, when it was just her, Lorenzo, and baby Lorenzo, which is Kane, of course. So the water running was brown in the flashback. So once he got home, once Lorenzo had got home, she's complaining. She's complaining about that, the apartment, how he need to move enough weight, get enough money to move them out of there. He's just kind of like, girl, it ain't time yet. I gotta ask them. I gotta do this just before I ask them for more weight. So that was the end of that flashback. She has some more flashbacks later on. I'm gonna just go ahead and go through it. She is in the car with Janet, and baby Kane is in the back seat. She gets pulled over. She tells Janet, oh, it's a gun in the glove box. It's a gun in the glove box. Give it to me. Janet's like, girl, what? And she puts the gun in Kane's car seat. And when the officer comes, she's like, I'm sorry for speeding, officer. I got a hungry baby in the back. Janet ends up telling Lorenzo. So when she gets home, Lorenzo is just like, you had a gun in the car and you hid it in the seat. Don't be having my kids involved in this stuff. Da, da, da. She's just like, whatever. I ain't trying to hear all that. But what I do got is this. Pulls out 2 bricks. He's like, where you get that from? Oh, I went and asked such and such since you wouldn't do it. I said, not that she always been this way. So she always been the queen pin and just let Lorenzo be propped up because he's the guy? What a mess. So somehow Monet calls herself going to go confront Noma. And when she pops up, of course, you know, it's got to be drama to the 10th degree. So when she pops up, it's at the same time that Effie is bringing the Russians over. And I'm like, how she even know where to find her, what time, and they just be there? Because in any other world, she really wouldn't have known where they was. Because I'm like, the kids ain't telling Monet stuff like that to where Monet know where they do their business at. Everybody is like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Guns pointed everywhere. Guns pointed everywhere. Mind you, Monet took that strong pill that Janet was trying to get her not to take. So Monet getting all woozy and passes out. Monet just, passed out. Everybody leaves because they pissed off. They feel like they've been set up, especially the Russians. Effie is pissed, but she drives Monet home. We see this quick scene where Reek and Davis are on the phone talking about their visits from Detective Carter. Reek is like, should I be worried? And Davis is like, I looked this man up and he's bitter about his wife was killed. Or I can't remember the whole story, but his wife got killed and I think it was tied into one of his cases maybe. So he's bitter and he's trying to take revenge on any bad guy because his wife is gone. So Davis is just like, yeah, he ain't like them other cops you be dealing with. He a real nigga cop. So watch your back, okay? Because, yeah, he ain't the one to be playing with. Next, we see Reek goes to see Tasha. Because remember, the detective was like, they about to put your mama on a wit set, basically. Do I remember this part? I don't know if I remember this part, y'all. Hold on. Okay, that's the part. Okay. I got it playing over here because it was some scenes that I was like, I need to hear before I get back to it. So that's just a scene where Monet was out there with Noma and they was talking at first and then the Russians and Effie pulled up. Anyways, we see Reek go to Tasha because remember Detective Carter told him they about to put her out of WITSEC. She's in Pennsylvania. Her name is Rachel. And she is working at this spot that's like, what is it called? I think it was like Shop Depot. But baby, it's giving Big Lots. They got Tasha working at Pennsylvania Big Lots. And it is just cracking me up. Tariq is so pissed. He's like, why are you working here? She's like, listen, after the last stunt I pulled, I'm guessing she's talking about when she went to go shoot Monet, they had to move her again, and this was the only job in the little town that she's in. So she got to work. I ain't got your trust. I ain't got your daddy money. I ain't got no drug money. This is what I have to do. The boss is on some SA type stuff. It's definitely giving sexual harassment. He got his arm all on her, saying, Rachel, you need to get to work. And, da, da, da. And she's like, I already told you. Da, da, da. Now I'll be there when I'm done talking. And Reek is about to flip his ish. She is like, I ain't never seen you let somebody talk to you like that. She's just like, circumstances are different now. I'm not the queen boss. I can't walk around with my piece and threaten people. I don't have that power. In this world, I have to work. Therefore, I can't disrespect this man too bad, okay? Just is what it is. So as Tariq is leaving, he's following out the shop manager and he drops his keys and Tariq runs up and like crushes his fingers into the pavement. And it's like, you talk to Rachel like that again and I'm on you. And if you report this, I'm really, really on you, okay? Right. So everyone is, yeah, I already said that part. That's when I was like, I think everybody just, ain't nobody got no money. Ain't nobody got no money. Effie gets Monet home and Kane is fussing at Monet. Y'all, this is gonna be a long review. My God. My God, gosh. Effie gets Monet home and Kane is fussing at her, letting her know that the drug game has changed. It's different and you need to learn all this stuff over. You can't just be running through the streets thinking you finna get your way, especially in your condition. So now Monet is feeling like, look, Kane ain't came up with no shooter on who tried to get at me, and now I'm thinking that it's Kane that tried to get me. And I'm like, a little piece of me can see why she would think that, because Kane is always like butting heads with her. But I'm like, girl, that's because of you. Kane be trying to update you on what's really going on, and all you do is call him stupid and demean him. But I mean, in her mind, that is enough to make her feel like he the one that tried to kill me. And I'm like, girl, he the only one that care about you. The other two, they are not so silently resenting you and want nothing to do with you. It was at this moment where I'm like, y'all, Monet has zero emotional intelligence when it comes to her own kids. And I literally said out my mouth, she's going to have to team back up with Tariq. Tariq knows the drug game. Tariq knows her kids. And Tariq pays attention to her kids. He kind of got a grip on their personalities to where he could play on all of them if he wanted to. So that's when I knew that Monet and Tariq was going to have to team back up. So on Tariq's way home from Pennsylvania from seeing his mom, his car breaks down, right? And Brayden comes to get him. At this point, he is completely over living this life. He's like, we're going to get back to moving weight. Brayden is like, but Noma said that was part of us staying alive and said we can't move weight. But Brayden is also complaining about his life as if Reek's ain't 10 times worse. But Reek spares him, you know, a fussing, and it's just focused on the goal. Reek has tracked down 2-Bit. Remember, I think it was when 2-Bit killed the dude at the pool that was trying to kill Tariq. His payback was that they switched cars. So Tariq's fancy car went to 2-Bit, and he got 2-Bit's little broke down car, the one that just broke down on him, which is wild because I'm like, even after you had that exchange with 2-Bit, there was still time of you making money to have bought another car, right? Or am I tripping? Am I tripping? I might be tripping because I don't remember nothing, but I feel like there was time for him to have bought another dang car. He still has his spare key to the car, so they track down where 2-Bit is at. And Brayden is like, Korean vegan spot. And Rick is like, what, a black man? He can't be vegan? What you trying to say? So when he goes in there to order his food, Rick goes, spare key still works. He get in the car and he zooms off in his old car. We see Monet trying to bargain with the kids, Drew, trying to bargain with Drew about killing Poppy and Gordo. And Drew is like, you still can't apologize for this message you did? Are you really doing this? Drew was like, I'm not even gonna have this conversation. I'll go get your meds together. The strong pills that Janet was talking about, Drew was about to put 3 of them in the little cup for her to take. And Diana catches him. She's like, no, we can't do this. We can't do this. We have to abort the mission of killing her. We are better than her. We can't be doing these things that she would do. We better than her. We don't have to live like this. In this conversation, Monet creeps up to eavesdrop. In the very, very beginning of the conversation, they were talking about how they tried to set her up. But Monet don't hear their part. She just hears the part where they don't like her and they resent her and they just going through the motions because that's their mama. So she goes to ask Janet, did I ruin my kids? Janet said, girl, go ask your kids. So she ends up asking Drew, and Drew is real dramatic with it, and he's just like, well, at least you asked. And he walks off. So I'm like, yes, Monet, that is a yes. You've ruined your kids, and they absolutely hate you. It's a yes. From Drew, at least. Diana, too. Kane a little bit, but he a mama's boy, so he gonna ride with you whether you wrong or not. Noma tells Kane to get the Russians back, which was crazy. I was confused. Oh, because Kane came up to her. Kane approached her like, yeah, I did this and I did that and I did this. She's like, boy, I don't care about none of that. I need the Russians. And he like, all right, I go get them. But he needs Effie to do it because Effie so effortlessly went and got the Russians. So he like, I need her and her moxie. I ain't got moxie like that. Not with the Russians and our history. You know, he got history with the Russians. So he calls Effie. Effie got her interview for Stanford, which I'm like, Effie, for you to get into Stanford, you're going to have a lot of money. So you're going to have to sell a lot of drugs. How you going to get to Stanford and do what you got to do? It's confusing to me what life Effie thinks she can live, because it's like you're too tied up in the drug game. Do you think Noma is going to let you go to Stanford and do what you're doing? It's just interesting. I want to know where her mind at and what her plans really are. But he's begging, so she's like, okay, cool, we should be done by then. All right, bet. So they go see the Russians, and Effie has these pictures of all these automatic weapons that they could get. Because remember, this episode started with basically their weapons and everything being intercepted before they can even get them, still in the shipping containers. So they eventually like, we get all these guns. We do need some guns. All right, we gonna do it, but we only working with the girl. They ain't trying to work with Kane. So Kane goes to tell Noma about the Russians being on board and what he promised them. He's like, she's pissed. She's like, how are you making promises without me? He's like, you got all these guns you need to offload. They got all their guns took. Like, the key fits. The key fits the lock, Noma. And she is like, but you don't go out here making promises without me. And she says one of her little sayings, I think you don't know who's in charge here, love. I think it was something like that. And Obi got him all hemmed up from the back. And but Kane's like, oh, I think I have to show you, love. And she's like, what? He's like, ain't that what you was finna say? She was like, word for word. So at this point, she getting a little hot in the cat. That cat is purring a little bit for Kane, because I mean, you be paying attention to me like that? You know me like that? Let him go, Obi, and get Ghost. I need to talk to him about these promises he done made. Like I said, she was gagged when he, I think I have to show you, love. Word for word. Cracked me up. She was gagged and turned on. Like I said, the kitty was purring. The dog was warming up to the Kane. So she makes Obi leave, and she's like, okay, well, we need to talk about this promise you made, because, you know, we with the Russians now. Would you mind having this conversation over some scotch? Next, we see Carter is interrogating Obi about the green cards that he illegally got, and he arrests them. I said, ooh, this is going to be interesting, because Noma probably going to go looking for Obi, and Obi not going to be nowhere to be found, and she going to be pissed, and then Obi going to have to end up calling from her from jail or something, or somebody else going to tell her. I just want to see how that part is going to unfold. Lastly, we see Monet and Rick meet up, y'all. Like I said, when she was sitting there lost about her kids, I knew that this scene was going to happen. I didn't think it would happen at the end of the episode. I thought it would happen on the next episode. But hey, let's get it on started then. They meet up. She put her gun on the car, like, okay, no weapons type deal. And he like, nah, girl, I don't trust you. She like, well, I don't trust you either, shoot. And they grab their guns and they go in the car and they talk. She's trying to find out who set her up. She thinks that it was his mom. So he's like, why would my mom think you were after her? And it was like this conversation going on. And he was like, well, Kate Egan told my mom that you gave Tommy a letter with my mom's address. Yeah. Monet is like, who is Kate? He's like, Tommy's mom. You know, she said you gave the address to him for my mama. she's just like, I don't know who Kate is. And y'all remember, they showed this little mini scene in the previews for the top of the episode. Diana was handing out them letters to try to get her mama set up. So she took a letter to Kate Egan's house for Kate to give to Tommy. And when she dropped it off, she said, tell him Monet left him something. You know, Monet Tejada sent him this or something like that. And in that letter was Tasha's address. I can't remember how she got the address, but she was trying to set up her mom. So now Monet is like, I gotta find out who told Kate that and who got these people on my back, and I'm gonna kill them. And I'm gonna kill them. I'm like, ooh, you got all that animal on your chest until you find out it's your baby girl. Are you gonna be so quick to kill her then? Especially when you find out that she's pregnant. Ooh, it's gonna be so interesting to see when Monet finds out that Diana is pregnant, and B, when and if Monet finds out that Diana was the one that took that letter over there acting like her. But I'm honestly glad that Monet and Reek are back together. I like them two as a team because they're like opposites in the drug game as far as black people go. Got the older black woman, got the young black male. They have two totally different ways of thinking about things and doing things. So when they come together, they kind of find the best solution for the most part. So it'll be interesting seeing how these two being teamed up is going to affect everyone else and how they're moving. Also, is he going to tell her that it was the kids? Is he going to be like, now that I got your trust, I just want to let you know your kids, Drew and Diana, came to me for me to take you out, but I didn't. I don't know who did it, but they did come to me. Ooh, baby, I can't wait. But that is it for this week's episode. I also need to do Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're gonna see how that happens. And see y'all later. Make sure y'all like, thumbs up the video, baby. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment, let me know what you thought of this episode and this review. Happy Juneteenth, y'all.